Hey there, it's Daniel from theGoodOcs.com, where you can get free Google Docs templates and guides. Today, we overview the entire Google Meet service and all its capabilities. A common way to use Google Meet is to quickly start an online video conference, share its link to the participants, and it's set up. People join the call, you start chatting, and as a host, you can manage the call room. But there's a lot more to it, and today we're exploring that in detail since there are so many different use scenarios, like for business, enterprise, or classroom, and a number of tools to make your collaboration with the team simpler and more effective. Alright, let's start a meeting like we normally do. But before that, make sure you have the appropriate hardware for video calls. That is the camera and microphone, built into nearly all laptops or purchased individually for a desktop computer. Or use your phone. Having all you need, you can start a meeting directly from meet.google.com, from Gmail, from Google homepage, or from any other Google service. Wherever you start, you will always get to the Meet homepage first. And basically, there's a single button here, New Meeting, where we create a meeting room to use later, start it right away, and schedule. And we start it instantly. And if you enter a room for the first time, it's likely that Meet will ask permission to use camera and mic. Well, allow that like this. Now, before inviting other people, the thing we need to do is to set up our hardware. Navigate to the Options button on the bottom toolbar. Go to Settings, and here are Audio Settings. Select your microphone. It will be a default one for laptop and a connected one for desktop. To make sure it works, look at the icon with audio wave, and if you see it matching your speech, then you're good. Otherwise, try selecting another mic in a drop-down. Sometimes you have several mics in your system. And to see the active one, go to the Computer Settings, Sound, and then for input, look what devices you have within your system and locate the active one. Back to the Meet, and choose the correct one. The same goes for speakers. Normally there's nothing to change, but again, if you have troubles, go to Computer Settings and check which are active. Then the Video Settings. The default camera was in the laptop and the external one connected to the desktop. Once again, you can check the active devices in PC settings. The Adjust Video Lighting slider will usually make the image a bit brighter if you need it. And then you can select the outgoing and incoming video resolution to save some network traffic. Then, in general, we have sliders for diagnostic sharing with Google if you don't mind, and the option to leave empty calls a few minutes later. In the Captions tab, you have a slider to turn on automatic constant captions for everyone on the call that will appear below the camera image. And the selection of languages, not offering too much though. And we're done here. In the meeting room itself, let's overview the room's interface and the tools to manage the meeting. At the bottom left, you have this window with the basic feature for inviting people here, that you do from the contacts list on your Google account if you press Add Others. Enter the person's name or associated email address, and then check the box next to the person's info. And then keep mentioning other people to add multiple at once and check in the box next to their cards. And once you're done, hit Send Email. Basically, the people will get an email with a direct link to this meeting. Although more often, we had people by just sharing a link with them in some messenger. In the same window, click on this icon and the end of the field, and that will save the link to the clipboard. Then contact a person and paste a link in a chat with him. Clicking on the link will take every person to the meeting, even if he doesn't have a Google account. In this case, a person will be asked to choose a name and then enter the meeting like everyone else. Now, of course, you can already invite people and start chatting after the basic setup, but there are lots of features to talk about yet. So, before inviting people, let's see what else we have here. At the bottom right, there's time and the unique identifier of your meeting room. Basically, it always goes like meet.google.com, then slash, and specifically these characters. In the middle of the toolbar, we have microphone and camera switches. Basically, turning on and off the mic and camera. And backwards. Then there's enabling captions, which are visible to you only. And then the key feature of Google Meet, your screen sharing, and we'll get to it in a bit. Then the options button with settings and more features to use, and of course, leave the call. And note that it doesn't end the meeting for everyone even if you are a host, it's just you leaving the call. Now on the bottom right, there are meeting details with the info about the meeting if it were planned via Google Calendar. The name with time and date, description, location, and also the attachments like documents, videos, or images you want to demonstrate and talk about at the meeting. So this way everyone will have it right here, and you can refer to this tab. And there's also one more joining link. Then, a button to see the list of people in call, an option to add more people on top, but most importantly, a control over the participants' permissions on the meeting. First of all, you can pin yourself to the main screen in order to always see your camera. Also, audio controls, and then a participant permissions. So we have Daniel here, and at the moment I want him to keep quiet, so I click on his audio icon and confirm muting. Also, I can pin Daniel to my main screen as well to always have him in sight. And an option to remove him from the call completely. Then, on the toolbar, we have a real-time text chat for everyone inside this call, supposedly if some people can't use microphones at the moment and can only type. Everyone in the room can type something in here. Messages are visible to everyone in the call and are deleted when the call ends. Then, an Activities tab, offering live collaboration on the whiteboard, a little robot game to kill some time. And the add-ons, currently having only Miro here. But it will expand once you add other Meet add-ons. Finally, there are host controls here available to you as a host and for people who you assign to be admins. Now let's switch on the host management, allowing us to take control over basic functions in the room. You can allow or disallow people to share their screen, since let's say a person may start showing it accidentally. And that means it will be displayed to everyone. Or you want to disable this function permanently. You can enable and disable live chat here. And here, you can permanently disable everyone's microphones, so you'll be the only one speaking. I think this may be really handy when you host classes. And the same goes for video. But be aware that these settings are applied to basically everyone on the call, well, except you. And finally, back to options. There is a layout, full screen and picture-in-picture. For the layout, you basically choose how you want the call room to look. This means it will switch to the active speaker every time. Then, it's a fixed grid view when there are a lot of people in a call. Then Spotlight, where you pin a specific person to everyone's screen permanently. And a sidebar with an active speaker in a spotlight and a little windows with other people on the right. And a slider to select how many people to display on the screen. Back to options. And there's a full screen mode, which is just the same as pressing F11 on the keyboard. And the picture-in-picture, which puts the call interface over all windows in the system so you will always have it on your screen regardless of what you're watching.
Hundreds more guides and a lot of free Google Docs templates on thegooddocs.com following the link below the video. Like to help share our videos to more people and subscribe to see more guides. I hope we helped you. Thank you for watching.